I will lay before you the story of a choice, a promise, and a covenant that defines eternity itself.
This is the question that stands before every soul I have created. It is the same question I presented to a man named Abram long ago.
The story begins at a crossroads, a place where two men, bound by blood, had to go their separate ways, and their choices would set their destinies.
You see, Lot chose what his eyes desired. He saw a land that seemed like a paradise, and he walked by sight. But Abram chose to return to the place of worship, to the altar, and to depend solely on my word, on the promise I had given him.
And this is what happened. The path of sight led Lot toward corruption, because what appears beautiful to the human eye can often lead the soul toward darkness. He pitched his tent toward Sodom.
But after Abram chose faith over sight, I came to him, and I confirmed my promise, offering him an inheritance so vast it was beyond anything he could count or measure, a promise for him and for his descendants forever.
It wasn't long before the consequences of Lot's choice became terribly clear, and in his rescue, I revealed a shadow, a glimpse of the Redeemer who was to come.
The world that Lot chose, the world that looked so appealing, it ensnared him. But Abram, moving by faith, was my instrument of deliverance.
With only his 318 trained servants, Abram rescued his kinsmen. This was to prove that victory comes not from worldly numbers, not from the strength of man, but from my power alone.
And upon his victorious return, Abram was met by a figure of immense significance, a king and priest who served Melchizedek, the Most High God.
His very name and title spoke of righteousness and peace. He was a priest not of a human order, not from a human lineage, but of an eternal one.
This Melchizedek, he was a direct foreshadowing of my son, Jesus. Jesus is the perfect King of righteousness and the everlasting high priest whose sacrifice creates true peace between you and me.
I then sealed my promise to Abram, not with a human handshake, but with a divine oath, revealing the very heart of salvation.
This is the cornerstone of your relationship with me. It was not Abram's works, not his own goodness, but his faith, his simple belief in me that I credited to him as righteousness.
I then revealed to Abram the long path of suffering and deliverance that his descendants would walk, a path that mirrors the soul's own journey from the bondage of sin into freedom.
To seal this promise, I commanded Abram to prepare a solemn and ancient ceremony, one used to ratify the most binding of oaths.
But in this terrifying and holy moment, it was my presence alone, as a smoking furnace and a burning lamp, that passed through. This signified that I, the Lord, took the full weight and the full curse of the covenant upon myself.
13 years passed, and I appeared again, this time to give the covenant an outward sign, and to expand the promise beyond anything Abram could have ever imagined.
I revealed myself by a new name, El Shaddai, the God who is all-sufficient, all-powerful, the God who is able to bring life from death and to fulfill my promise against all odds.
I changed their names to reflect their new destiny. He would not just be a high father, but Abraham, the father of many nations. And she, Sarah, would be a mother of nations and kings.
This sign was a constant reminder that to be in covenant with me requires the cutting away of the old, sinful nature. It's a work that is now perfectly fulfilled by my Spirit in the hearts of those who believe.
The promises I made to Abraham, they were not just for him. They echo through all eternity, and they are offered directly to you.
This is my eternal desire, to be your God. This covenant, fulfilled in the blood of my Son Jesus, is everlasting.
Just as Abram faced a choice between what he could see and what he would believe, so do you. The world offers you one path. I offer you another. Choose faith. Choose life. Come into my everlasting covenant today. Will you believe in me?